There are a few foods that cause anxiety that you should be aware of. If you never have anxiety, then you might want to skip this video. But if you struggle with anxiety, or even if you are more stressed than you would want to be, this video is a must watch for you. Hey, it's Scandinavian Bob here. This channel is all about becoming a warrior in your own life by crushing anxiety, learning smart self-improvement strategies, interesting mental tricks and cool biological hacks. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hit the subscribe button right now and let's start with today's video. Let's go for the three biggest ones right away, and they are of course alcohol, sugar and coffee. Now I realize some of you may be thinking, but alcohol actually calms me down, so it's good for anxiety, right? Yes, it calms you down while you have it in your system, but it has a rebound effect to it, which means that the following days, yes I said days, when you no longer have any alcohol in your system, your CNS, central nervous system, is even more sensitive than normal, and thus you are more prone to anxiety. And speaking of the nervous system, here's where the coffee enters the picture. You probably knew that caffeine speeds up signaling in your nervous system, and that's why it can make anxiety much worse. Well, you are correct. That's one reason why coffee is bad for anxiety. However, there's more bad news because coffee also increases adrenaline, which is a very powerful stress hormone. Actually, one could say that adrenaline is the very fight and flight hormone, just like anxiety is a fight or flight response. And listen to this, I recently found out that coffee actually raises your adrenaline levels by 5 times the normal in your bloodstream. That is a huge increase and something to think about if you are having problems with anxiety. Then we have the sugar, which will cause a very big fluctuation in your blood sugar. After you consume a lot of sugar or fast carbs, your blood sugar will shoot up very high, and then after a while it will come crashing back down. Now, because they went up so high, they will come crashing back down so rapidly that they actually drop down even below your baseline levels. When this happens, your adrenal glands respond by pumping out cortisol into your bloodstream in order to quickly get the levels back up to baseline. Now, cortisol is another very powerful stress hormone, and you do not want too much of it, especially if you are struggling with anxiety. So the absolute worst thing you could do for your anxiety is combining a few cups of coffee with some sugary treat. No wait, if you want to find the worst possible combination, it would be to drink a lot of alcohol on, for example, Saturday, and then on Sunday, the following day, when your nervous system is super sensitive, you drink a bunch of coffee along with a lot of sugar. Let's say you have to do some public speaking then on that Sunday. Well, I guess I just gave you the perfect recipe for creating a major panic attack during your speech. So don't do that. And then we have foods that cause inflammation in the body. Well, guess what? They can also cause anxiety because inflammation of the brain is one of the causes of both anxiety and depression. So you should do your best to avoid vegetable oils, processed foods, white bread, and for a lot of people gluten is a big bad boy when it comes to inflammation. The same goes with dairy. Personally, I notice a big correlation between eating gluten, dairy, and my anxiety levels. Also, skip the artificial sweeteners and be careful with foods that contain a lot of omega-6 fatty acids. Then the last thing to point out when it comes to foods that cause anxiety is food allergies. If you have an allergic reaction to a specific food, then obviously that is not good for you to consume. Even if it's a very mild reaction, it might affect your brain in a way that causes anxiety. If you really like to take this to heart, I recommend you try cutting out all of these foods I mentioned here for several weeks and then see if your anxiety goes away. If it does, then you can start testing which one is the worst for you by gradually start adding back one food at a time until you find the bad boy. But you should know that most of them probably contribute to the anxiety in some way. And you should of course test adding them back only if you feel that you desperately want some of those foods in your life. The bread is a good example, so I would probably start with adding back the bread and try that for some time. And if the anxiety comes back, then well, it has to go. I'm sure you get the point. So try this out and I really hope it will be helpful for you. Just be patient and give it time. Now, if you are in a hurry and would like to find some anxiety relief right away, then click the link under this video and go read about something my friends and I have tried that turned out to be extremely effective at reducing anxiety levels. Just click the link where it says blog post and go read about it right now, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Alright, that's it for today. If you found this video informative and you would like more videos on how to maximize your life by crushing anxiety, discovering smart self-improvement tips, cool biological hacks, and by optimizing your health, then consider subscribing by pressing the subscribe circle right here. And also press the little bell icon so that you'll get notified when there's a new video coming out. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out. Keep going and stay strong.